talked to Bob, and he said that I probably can't handle any more of what's been going on. Uh,
All right.
I was having
Maybe-
fun. I was having fun until I tried to sleep last night.
Maybe stay home for a bit, Pep. This is a good spot. We're home.
What happened when you went to sleep?
Well, I didn't really go to sleep, but I thought I did. I was awake, and then I was asleep, and then Moxie was talking to me, but I don't think she was. But maybe she was, and I have no.
What?
Maybe have Bob take care of you for a while.
Bob said that I needed to rest, so
All right.
yeah.
Did you have
So-
anything interesting to say, or was it all just like Purple Monkey Dishwasher?
Well, I have to put your volume up. Just one sec. What did you say?
Did Foxy Moxie say anything interesting, or was it just Purple Monkey Dishwasher?
No, she kept telling me that that everything I saw wasn't real and all kinds of stuff like that. That's why Bob thinks it's not anything at all. So, since you guys all saw the same things, right?
Did we?
Well,
Press the DM.
Yeah, I think so. He had his own little excursion into the paintings, but that wasn't anything too outside the ordinary from what Drew had done earlier.
But sorry, did we see Moxie when we went to sleep as well, or?
No.
Okay.
Well, unless you were thought she was pretty.
It's
You
one
might
of
have.
those dreams. I don't need to hear it from Pep.
No, I meant for Pito. He has a permanent unfortunate libido boost. So
Unfortunate according to who?
Very
Well,
important.
yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Bob. So what are you guys doing? Are you well rested? I don't know. So
It looks like I've had a full rest. Looking at my chart here.
all right,
And then myself being back from the ocean after last week, I am fully rested.
awesome. Yeah, had many fun and meetings with old friends, etc. So yeah,
Is this what the
Focus on
orphanarium
dolphins,
looks
they're
like?
mean.
yeah, that's that side of it. Always has been since the beginning.
No, that's so much cooler than I was imagining.
It's an old monastery, so
Oh,
yeah, and the building there sort of backs right onto that cliff at the lower levels. So
that's cool.
yeah.
Must be a lot of dead parents in this world.
We just seem to find orphans wherever we go.
Sorry, Spence. Sorry.
Well, just think how many like dangerous monsters and like new world-ending events there are like on a bi-weekly basis in this place.
Ultimately, there in your time, there's never really, except for you've heard of disasters like you said, world-ending events and stuff, but wars and stuff. But outside of war, there's never really been much more than 100, 150 people here. So, but then there is also all the people that were ever here before that are still agents. Not everybody, but the ones that are. There's about another 100 people that you know about in the world field. There's also like who's sort of the most well-read history and culture-wise?
That might be me.
I have a
Okay.
+2.
I got +5 to history.
Yeah. So there's also. Go ahead. Sorry, Dwayne.
Oh no, I just yelled nerd.
So there's also Drew knows there's like faction agents and spies, and pretty sure that some of the roguelikes people who've graduated and have been gatherers, are acting as covert spies and integrate themselves into different societies around. It's the most common type of training received at the orphanarium.
Yeah, we're not a cult. I just want to say that again out loud. It's not a cult. That's all.
So, well, you know the definition of a cult, says Bob.
Yeah, not us.
Someone else's religion.
All right.
So, what's a cult? Someone else's religion. Anyways,
We're basically Scientology.
wait until you try and leave, and you'll find out. There's a fairly big feast tonight if you guys want to enjoy yourselves. And then we'll see, what do you want to do? Do you want to work, travel? You want to rest? Perhaps like, I'm going to rest.
Well, I think we can keep going. Well,
you should join. Many of your old friends are here at the feast tonight, for sure.
yeah, I was coming eat.
So,
Yeah, I'd also like to investigate Pep during the feast. But yes, getting ahead of myself.
all right. So, oh yeah. So you guys, there's a couple hours to kill. You can pick up any financially nominal supplies you want, rations, anything like that. Keep in mind you're generally at about 10 days to those rations before they have to be replenished. It's not a big deal though. Small items, daggers, whatever, those are all immaterial financially. There's lots of stuff in the armory. So yeah, if you need anything. So
We restock.
Good question. Am I the only person that can like make food out of magic? Because if so, then that's at least something to consider.
You can make food out of magic.
I think so.
do you have good berry or something else?
I'm just going into my. I mean, it's not like under. Oh wait! I can purify food and drink, and I can create food and water.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
Well, that's gonna be. I don't know. I'll grab some stuff. I can usually, if we're out in the land, I can find enough food for most of us. But I'll pick up some rations and restock my adventuring gear.
I
got,
don't
like-
intend to have it as a prepared spell because that seems like a silly spell to have when forced into combat.
Yeah. Well, we can always go hungry for a night and just pick it up the next day, right?
Yeah.
If we're in dire straits. Awesome.
So, all right. So there is a big feast. When Bob says feast instead of big dinner, it means there's a feast.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
you find some of the local notables who usually they don't usually come from too far away for the most part. Occasionally they do. That are there. They attend. You know that they're patrons of the orphanage, and some of them are former adventuring buddies of Bob's. There's definitely like a rather there's a rather eccentric wizard that you're familiar with, but he never sees magic of power when you ask him about it. But Bob seems to hold him in awe.
Okay.
His name is Fizz, so yeah. Anyways, you've met him before, and he's there. He's very happy to see everybody. He, interestingly enough, despite sort of being underwhelming when you meet him and stuff, knows the name of every single person in the room perfectly, and everything about you. In conversation over the years, you realize he knows your age, your training, everything.
Insight check. Does it seem like people told him it, or like he's figuring it out talking to us?
This has been a few years. You've never known why he knows everything. It seems like he remembers everything he ever, or it's divinity, and you've never been sure which because it's so natural. him just to speak. He doesn't cast. He doesn't move. He just talks. He's like, "Oh, Drew," and he knows what the name of the person who trained you and all your.
Okay.
Saw quite a few of your adventures, though not. He doesn't mention the last one or anything like that, but you've seen him about, over the last 10 years, quite a bit.
Okay. He's a regular.
Yeah, and it's always disturbing. Like, he might know, like, if you had a fling with a woman, Pito, he knows who. Like, you don't know that he always knows who, but it'll be like you had one like 400 miles from here, and he's like, "Oh, she was a pretty one." So, anyways, but you never even necessarily mentioned it to friends.
Right.
Does he do that to everybody or just us?
He does that to everybody in the room. So you see him walking around, like, asking somebody how their studies with so-and-so are going, or if they've seen their old master this, or, "Oh, I heard you had a hell of a time in the East with that, Yeti or whatever, right, in the Northeast." Seems to know everything. He just talks. He's not very charismatic, but he just talks like he's rambling, like, "Hey," but not like rambling like he's stupid or daft. He's just like, "Oh yeah, Drew, you did that thing, and oh yeah, that was a pretty good job there. Sometimes he's known you've stolen stuff that you have with you. So, that must be a really nice item, things like that, right? Thing to have, handy weapon or whatever. So that you have brought back with you to the orphanage, not just on your bodies.
So things he shouldn't know.
Things he wouldn't expect anybody to know. And his name is Fizz, and he's always been nice. He's not daft, not exciting, not charismatic, but he talks. He's extroverted, so. Spencer's sound is on. So,
Is it echoing? Or?
oh, it's not echoing. It's just really loud. No, the beep is real. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. However loud it is there, I don't know, but there. So, anyways, So you see him. There's a couple old warriors that sit and drink with Bob into the night usually. Just about any friend you ever had, including one of the guys you rescued. So, whose name is slipping my mind after 6 months.
Cool.
You rescued those two young guys.
Oh, the kids. Yeah.
I can't remember their names. Sorry.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Known them my whole life. We're super close.
You can ask Fizz about them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and in the weird sort of tunnels under the tower. So, yeah. Anyways, I used to know their names off the top of my head. So. But yeah, you do see people, like I said, definitely more people from the field than usual. But that's not uncommon with the feast. Sorry. So yeah, and Fizz does say just casually to, was it Finn that rode the dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah. He just says casually to him. He says,
Bumble.
Yeah, it says casually to him. He says, "Oh, you rode that dragon. That was pretty wild." And everybody who thinks about that for a minute is a little confused because pretty sure that happened out of time.
Like,
yeah, time changed.
It got reset from that point, basically.
What's that?
Time it got reset from that point.
Yeah. So, yeah. So he says you met them and talked to them and all that stuff, and then.
Does he look like the wizard?
He looks like a wizard, not the wizard. Not at all like the wizard. Also, he's been around here a long time. You would have keyed on to that when you met him.
Okay, no, he doesn't look like.
He's also super clear, but I mean, unless he went back in time and tried to his farm, which is always possible. It
Right.
doesn't have the affliction anymore. But, yeah,
I asked him what he knows about our artifacts and if he knows anything.
sure. What do you have? I'm asking you. He knows.
I have the oh, what was it called? Sorry, a second.
Voice of the Winds.
Yes.
Voice of the Wind.
Yeah.
And I'm really asking about history, not what they do per se, but like maybe like their effects, their long-term effects, and I kind of maybe mention how Moxie was going crazy.
Okay. Well, he says those are very powerful items indeed. You did survive with them, which is wonderful. But did anybody at any point take on or bear multiple of those objects?
We all turn and look at Frankfurt.
Yes.
Oh, I must discuss this with Bob then. This might be important.
I was nice and pretty critters. I liked it.
Well, yeah, just and just me asking, how many of them do you possess now, you guys?
Three.
I've got one.
I've got
So
one.
he says he sort of points to whoever has one and says, just keep them separate. Bob. Right.
Again, we all look at Frankfurt.
I have like such the saddest face on my. I'm like, oh, come on.
I didn't think you had multiple for long, did you?
No. I was like
How long?
rainbow for like 5 minutes and then thought I should share the.
I think you threw it up or something.
No, I just popped it off.
Oh.
Or out of my shell, I guess.
It wasn't easy for you to take it off though. You had to like a few points like your body kind of refused and your mind wouldn't let you give them up.
Yeah, so that was weird.
If Fizz knows all about about these items, does he know if there are any other around or like in the distance?
He says, I believe there's X number of them. 6, is it, Spence?
7.
7 in existence, but I do not know where until you touched them, I had no idea where they were. And he says that again to everybody who touched them very deliberately. You can tell. You feel like he's talking to you.
I want to ask him more about how he knows this, but I also don't really want to know how the sausage is made.
So, I mean, he just keeps talking to you. He's like, yeah. And he explains, sort of that together they're very dangerous and separate they're very powerful. But together they're very powerful, but separately they're not so dangerous, I suppose. If you're careful not to put them together in the same place, same person. And if you wear them too long, well, I think you've seen what happens to that. He mentions starts with a B. Sorry, Balzar. No, what's his name?
Baltar?
Altar?
Or Baltar. I apologize. Baltar. He mentions Baltar. Yeah. So I'm having name trouble tonight. So so he says it mentions Baltar and Moxie. He's like, if you wear them too long, this is what happens.
Just out of curiosity, how long is too long?
Depends on the will of the individual.
Assume a not particularly willful individual.
Like a 2 out of 10?
Yeah. Hypothetically.
Well, maybe that person should loan them to somebody else.
I'm good with my little bling bling.
Oh, there we go.
Everybody looks at Frankfurt again.
I wanted all of them. I want to
We
be.
should be thanking Frankfurt for being so generous.
Hmm.
Has anybody used Voice of the Winds yet? Hornet?
I just got it, so never used it.
Alright, cool. Alright.
Does it change my voice?
Well, are you attuned to it?
I am.
Oh.
Can it be used to like make him sing a great song at this feast?
Yeah, you kind of speak in like 2-part harmony, basically.
And because you're a bard, and if you roll well, you know how to do it like intentionally with yourself, as if you were harmonizing in a group,
Like Mongolian throat singing sort of thing.
something like that.
That's fun. Yeah, I would use that as an instrument almost.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, after he's done talking, I mean, he'll answer any question. You know. So he's just hanging out. He's talking to you. He's not like intent on anybody. He just seems to be here. Says I'll have to talk to Bob later, though, for sure.
All right.
Don't stay. He just says for long periods, not for multiple days and weeks on end.
So you're having syllables cut out every now and again.
Let me see which mic is on.
It's high quality. It's just I don't think it's just me.
No, it's
Oh, no,
adding a
no.
bit of mystery.
He says, "Don't stay attuned for that." Now I know which mic it is. But then it's clear. So he says, "Don't stay attuned, too long for like days and weeks at a time. That would maybe plan your times for testing."
I keep hearing "don't stay" and then he goes quiet, and it's getting more ominous each time.
Well, let me switch mics just to see, so I don't have to project as hard. The other one's set for streaming stuff right now, so it's for projected voice, all the settings in it. So how's that?
Worse.
Okay.
Sorry, I
Don't be sorry. Okay. Or weeks at a time, that wouldn't be a good idea. Just plan your time. The more familiar with it, if you build up, it's like building up an immunity to a poison. The more small doses you take, the more bigger doses you can.
So wait, do we want immunity to these, or so like using it a little bit is good?
Yeah, well, if you use it for a little bit and you're strong-willed, a lot, but you'll be able to tell by whether you. Well, you'll be able to-
That's so ominous. All the
you'll-
warnings that we're getting half of.
You'll be able to tell.
All right.
He actually smiles for the first time when he says you'll tell. So,
That's ominous.
all right. So yeah. Anyways, I mean, the feast is wonderful. Now Pito gets a play, of course. Bob eventually invites him, like always. There's a couple of people that normally accompany, one with a set of spoons and somebody else with like a set of just soft padding drums. So you're
I
pretty
sing
used to it.
the Moxie Not So Foxy song, and then I noticed Bob get upset, and I amend it on the fly.
All right. So yeah, roll a performance check.
17.
Are
which
you
is pretty bad.
harmonizing with yourself?
Yes.
And you rolled a 3?
Yeah. It's pretty bad though, but it's 17. So
I know. Oh, everybody's pretty happy, and they see you trying out a new technique, view it, and they think it's pretty good. I mean, you're better than 80% of the people on the planet right now instead of 98, right? So
Everyone has some drinks in them too, so
yeah, and they hear this new technique, this self-harmonizing thing, and you feel like when you're singing, like you have power. The harmonizing part. As soon as you start doing that, you're like, that's a hell of a thing. So and you feel like it feels very good. Yep. Every
Like-
once in a while you're singing it, think of the objects.
We didn't hear. You can actually see on Discord when your voice lights up.
Yeah,
You're
but
cutting out.
I'm not looking at that screen, unfortunately. So
Yeah,
sorry about
it cuts out.
that. Yeah. Let me just move it over here. There's a couple of modes, so I'll put it in a different. You think about the greatest moment here of singing, you using this, and you think, I wonder what the other ones do, and that's what goes through Pito's mind. So, and that's it. And everybody's happy. They clap. They cheer. They take another. Yeah, they love your song.
awesome.
All right. So yeah, I mean the people go back to town. So
Sorry, you're unintelligible. When we can hear you, it's perfect.
tables. There's about 150 people here in total, so Pito gets about 100 golds in tips and 3 invitations.
Peter will try to take up all 3 invitations.
Are you gonna try for it once or separately in different order?
Probably separately.
Okay, no problem then. No smooth talking. You know that thing, you go over to the one girl and you say, "Hey, my friend over there wants to know if you want to join us." And then you go over to the other girl and you say, after she agrees, and say, "Hey, my friend over there knows if he wants to join us."
Drew runs interference on his various prior paramours who might not be as happy with him.
It's you know, it's like put them sort of at ease, right? Because the other one's involved. Anyways,
The other one's in already, yeah.
so yeah. Anyways, so yeah. Anyways, you have a good night. So that's fun. Yeah, everybody can rest or study or whatever they want to do. So
I'll just try to just a bit weirded out by what happened to Pep, so I'll just try to investigate him a little bit. Just ask him some basic questions like about his dream and if it was reoccurring and if he had any sleep and
you
just try to.
realize that when you were singing, he snuck away.
Oh, okay.
He's very sneaky. He snuck away. Nobody even quite noticed. So yeah.
Okay.
Does Fizz know anything?
What's that?
Does Fizz know anything? Did he see?
Oh, well, if you can find him and you can ask him if you want, he's over on the other side of the room.
Go chat.
Yeah, might as well. It's like,
Oh, hey. And do you have one of the items? I can't remember.
I do not.
No.
I am itemless.
All right. He says, "Oh, yeah, you escaped that situation, huh? Oh, well. Oh, there could be some fun in that." But anyways, he says, "Oh, what's up?" So
There was a little guy, occasionally crazy, but hasn't been feeling too well recently. I'm sure that you know him. Pep.
oh, Pep, it's not his fault.
Oh.
You know how he was raised. Holy, oh boy. Oh yeah, that would do that to anybody.
Did you see him wander off at all?
I didn't see him wander off, but I felt like he went to bed.
Thank you, Fizz.
I had a feeling he went to bed, so he looked like he was going to go to bed. I thought that earlier. I thought he's going to go to bed early, and then he wasn't around. So.
Did he end up having his discussion with Bob?
I do not know what is happening around Bob usually.
Okay.
Cryptically, he says. So, yeah, Bob's at the front table drinking. Fitz had been there earlier, but went around to see somebody else. Yeah. And he's says, "Well, folks, I'm going to call it a night." And Bob starts heading off, and at that point, Fizz starts packing up. You realize that he brought all his own utensils, and he's done this before, but he brought in his bowl and everything. He's packing it up and into the nice little sack he has, getting ready to go. And most people that are not too drunk to move are heading out. So. What do you guys do?
Like, do we call it a night? Does the
Yeah, I mean, Giroux maybe chats up some of the people that live here and shares some tales of adventure and daring do and does some knife tricks with his hands and, just entertains the young ones, lets them know what's out there in the world.
Right. One of the senior roguelike guys says you really should, in a few years, after a few more years in the field, you really should take on some apprentices.
Oh, I might one day. I don't think I'm there yet, Giroux says as he juggles like 6 knives between his fingers. Like the thing where you roll them, and they're just all over them. It's like he has no fingers, it's just knife hands. I think I've still got more to learn.
Yeah. Well, you definitely need to see more of the world for sure before you can teach gatherers. But yeah, no. And he's not even he's grizzled and like 32 years old.
Drew does the most hardcore knife parlor tricks with his hands, like doing his best at it, but pretending to be very nonchalant about it. Like, oh yeah, I was just juggling my 10 knives on the tips of 10 fingers, sort of thing.
Yeah. Holy crap, that was a one. So he sort of obviously reaches out to sort of like snatch one out of there as it goes by. Actually cuts his finger a little.
It looks like he's going to, and Giroux definitely maneuvers around him with a, that's real, 37 on his sleight of hand, and completely.
Plus 19. Sorry, seriously. Like,
Wow.
I've got an item, and I'm really good at it.
I know you're really good at this. This is 19 was a new level. So
Yeah, where is it from? I got a bunch of things. I'm very dexterous. That's +6.
Yeah.
I've got expertise, so it's double proficiency bonus, so that's +8.
Yeah.
So that's 14 to start. And then I have gloves of thieves' gloves, magic gloves,
Cool. That's awesome.
and they're +5. Yeah, he is ridiculously deft with his hands.
That's neat.
Yes.
You've never seen him sort of fumble that badly, so anyways, yeah.
Yeah. I make it look to everyone else like he didn't fumble that badly, but he knows.
Everybody else thinks that he tried to put his hand in between what you were doing and pull it out without getting hurt. So.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, he
That's
smiled
what
at you anyways, so
I wink.
it's fun. So, all right. So, are you guys going to sleep, or are you gonna do anything throughout the night?
I'm just gonna sleep. I feel safe here.
Everybody else is good.
My first time at this above ground orphanage, so I'll enjoy a sleep.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, everybody's very solicitous. So, yeah, and helpful. Make sure you know everything and not to go into the tunnels and caves in the back. They're ghost pants. Why does it say ghost pants?
Oh, that's just the. Can I change?
know.
Oh, yes, I can change that using
Yep.
technology.
Anyways.
Okay.
Anyways, so everybody's very, very solicitous and like welcoming and interested in where you're from and what you've been doing with your life and how you ended up here. So. Yeah. Yeah. So, and he's, yeah. So, and everybody welcomes. Is it Kelpaticus? Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody welcomes Kelp in, anyways. And Bob uses your full name, but yeah, and just shows you around. And yeah. So, but yeah, you guys are welcome to rest if you want to. Not too much else for the. Well, Pito's not going to rest, but.
Frankfurt's drinking at the bar.
All right, Frankfurt. Do you want to drink a lot or a little?
Oh yeah, no, I'm drinking.
All right. And you're currently attuned to the object you recently acquired?
Yes. Like the
Okay, cool.
stone? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, no problem. All right. So, yeah, I mean, you eventually drink yourself to either sickness if you want or just time to go to bed.
I will pass out in the bar just in my shell.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the whole table is basically the bar, right, at the feast.
Perfect. I'm falling asleep on the table then.
Awesome. You're not the only one. So, all right. So you guys can go back to the, your assigned rooms. You get your own rooms because you're reached the gatherer status. So yeah.
Mhm.
So you get to use of, you know, they're not your rooms, but you get use of your own rooms each.
Oh, nifty.
Yeah. So yeah, but Drew, that guy you were sparring with, Kars there, I think his name is Kars. He you realize that your pace of advancement in life is accelerating towards where he's decided to settle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So everybody's able to rest just fine until early morning, where you'll be awoken by the alert bell. So it's not an alarm bell. It's everybody needs to wake up and come to the gathering hall bell. So it's also when somebody important is approaching, it goes off. So usually, generally, it's just whatever you're doing is now no longer what you're doing, but it's not an emergency. Often when you greet diplomats and stuff, this bell goes off. So
Jaru, on his way out, swings by Pito's room and gently pushes Pito back to put on his own pants.
right.
Pito's confused, but okay.
Instead of his partners.
Thank you. Helpful.
So as you come out,
It's-
a couple of people are heading towards the main meeting hall, and they're sort of chattering like what's going on. So there wasn't any visitors expected or announced. So
Mhm.
usually, if you knew like for the last 4 weeks that a diplomat was coming or patron of some great importance to drop,
Mhm.
their life savings, this would happen. But usually it would be announced. So yeah. As you guys head to the main hall, you'll see that Bob is standing there, and a gentleman in long flowing mail, a human, is walking up. Even has mail on his legs and his arms, and you recognize him as a special envoy of the Couriers of the King.
Mm.
Couriers of the King don't belong to any of the kingdoms. There used to be a single kingdom, post Cataclysm, and this tradition started. They're basically the Pony Express, right? But just sort of like entrusted, right? So
Right.
if you ever killed one of them, you might as well have killed the king himself, right? So, and they bring very important messages for a lot of money. It's sort of a guild of its own, Couriers of the King. So they have the symbol of a king that nobody even remembers the name of, so except for them. And they go into these their halls, and they're sort of temple like, and they exchange information, how to recognize each other and stuff, and ways to not be they're to confirm that one of their fellow members is authentic, and they're spread across the continent. So anyways, they're expensive as fuck. So like sending them across between cities might be, say, 200 gold, where somebody else would be 5 or 10, right? So so yeah, that's all. So they bring up a special envelope to Bob and hand it to him. So he opens it up, and he shakes this gentleman's hand in a fashion that you haven't seen before, and the man I offers him refreshments and stuff. The man takes water and has his next destination in mind and heads out of the building. And everybody's looking around expectantly. They were expecting a visitor, not a message. So, but I think in your lifetimes, this has maybe only happened once or twice. So, yeah. So Bob opens up this envelope and looks very concerned, and heads to his office. And everybody just sort of stands around looking, wondering what's going on. So,
I start heading to Bob's office.
all right. You follow him, or you go in after he closes the door? Or you go towards it after he closes the door?
I'm going to follow him and be like, yo, what's up?
Well, he turns over to turns to Pito, and he just gestures with his head that you guys should come. So
Yeah, we follow.
Yeah, I'll come with.
Alright. So he invites you in and just he says he tells you says it's about Race. We haven't seen him for like 2 weeks. He was supposed to be back. This is one of the most accomplished rogues. Even Drew wonders about this guy. Looks up to him and didn't train you, but was.
Is he an orphan or is he like a
He's an
wing
orphan who's
Gretzky?
become a gatherer, so he's just a bit older than you. But he, at his age, he's the most accomplished that you've seen besides yourself at this point. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he said he was missing, and this note explains it. And he opens up the envelope and he shows you there's a note in a language that I do not believe nobody can read. And it's also contains a little finger. And he says somebody wants to harm us. I guess they said we need to send gold, or they will. And he was reading it. He's translating it. You can tell merge him with the earth.
That doesn't
Okay.
sound great.
He says that we're to send the funds to the town of Aloria, south of Luskan, but that they want to see nobody from the orphanage and recognize they don't want to see anybody that they know. Even if they accidentally see somebody they know, they will merge him with the earth. That's what they say. They'll not stop to ask if Bob sent them. They will just merge him with the earth. We'll be watching everywhere. So Bob is very concerned. Verace is like sort of everybody likes Verace and nobody knows what Verace does.
Mm-hmm.
Oloria is a weird place where you know of it by sort of almost a sort of a social mythology. It's where what called the Adhere, I can't say it, are they're elves who marry or merge with or have families with non-elves. It's almost an enclave town where that's like a good percentage of the ones in Sword Coast gather there if they're not off by themselves somewhere. So it's about 20% of the town, as far as you know, is just these elves that have mixed with humans or other races.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, I don't know what to do. This is I don't believe this has never happened in our history.
I'm guessing the amount of money that they're asking for is a lot.
No, it's not very much at all. But do you really think that they're going to risk? What can we risk if they send him back or not? They have already done this harm to him.
Is this his finger?
I would have to use divinity magic, but it looks like it. It's the right color, right size. It's been getting a little ripe, so can't be sure.
Well, can we hire someone who isn't from? They said if we go there, they'll kill him, but
Well,
merge him with the earth. They were really very specific.
the question is, do we hire mercenaries to sort of do it, or do we send the money and hope that he lives and they let him go, or do we try and get him? I mean,
Well, send the money, get him back, and then go after them.
What if they don't give him back?
I think we.
Then we go after them. No harm, no foul.
Merge with the earth is, and then Bob just suddenly gets very contemplative and he says, this is not for money.
I think we need to try to go in there without being recognized somehow, and see if we can find Grace.
Right. Grace. Merge with the earth is a message in itself. It means that these are people who mean good people harm. It is a long-standing. It explains the King's Courier, for example, a Courier of the King. It's a long-standing cult that uses those words. They stand in opposition to everything good. There's no way they're doing this for the money. They have all the money they need.
So then what do they want?
I don't know. maybe to harm us. Many times we've opposed them over the years. So, also, where they are now is not far from Luskan, where they've been active. They usually try, though, subterfuge to take over governments and infiltrate, organizations and stuff. They don't usually. This is very blatant for them, and they don't need the money. And they know I know that, so I don't know why they used merge with the Earth. They wanted me to know, sending a message. I must definitely. I have to visit somebody very soon. Then, seeing these words.
Who?
Somebody from our own faction. You hear the word echo, like an echo of the word faction with cult, but like cult, faction, cult, echoes in the background. No, just because of your paranoia, but you keep hearing about it. No, he says that these people have opposed my people for a very long time, and this message, like, what happens if we give them the money? Will they then cut off your finger next, even if they send them back?
Do they have other branches where we could like kidnap one of them?
Well, persuasion has not worked in the past, but you could try.
Well, they've got people they value.
Right. Well, Zathaman you could find in Luskan, or you could find in Waterdeep itself. You may find some of them if you investigate deep enough. I myself have to go north. I must meet immediately with others and consult. This means that this may just be a message telling us that they're bolder and coming forward. Or it could be your finger next, or who are they going to grab next?
I mean, if they don't want money, why send the letter?
Send the message to sow confusion, maybe to draw me there.
But we don't even.
Do you want us to go there?
Him.
Can you go there without being recognized? Find out what's going on?
Probably not. We're pretty. I look around at us, and Pedo basically shines. Kelp is like a big presence in the room. Frankfurt's literally a turtle.
Yeah, you see Spalding standing back there too.
Yes, Spalding is here. Spalding, hey. I
Hey.
haven't seen you for a while. Spalding's in the room. Spalding's I don't even know.
Well, I seem to be a blue guy, and Frankfurt seems to be a turtle. So Spalding seems to be some sort of mix of the two.
He's a
Yeah. we stand out.
Bob reaches into the drawer and he says, I don't know. As I said, they'll have infiltrated. They could have sent a child here 20 years ago, for all I know. And he looks at you all for a second. He's like, they're very, very, very long-term thinkers. It could be anything. It could be.
Well, if we can't trust them, there's no need to play by their rules. Let's just go there.
So Bob reaches into his drawer and he pulls out a handful of seeds for you, and he gives them to you. He says, this is a glamour that will make you innocuous and average wherever you are, each one for 24 hours. You will look like, if you're in a dwarven city, you will look like an average dwarf. If you're in an elven city, you'll look like an average elf. If you're in Calimport or one of the metropolises, you'll look like just an average person there.
And there's
But
enough
it
for each
only
of us
lasts
to take one.
24 hours, and you ingest it and you can't overlap them.
So basically, there's enough for each of us to have one.
There's actually enough for you each to have 3.
So we have 3 days to do this wherever we are.
3 days to be in the open, yes. So you could rescue Varese and find out which faction within the cult itself did this. Yeah.
One sec, let me add the seeds of seeming normal to my inventory. We each have 3.
Yeah. They last 24 hours, and cannot overlap. So, yeah. Mark the time well. You guys I can trust because of each of your unique special origins. I know you did not infiltrate. You're not of the cult. You know,
Right.
kind of very surprised to see Spalding standing behind you in the office.
Was he at the party last night?
Yeah, just no one said hi. I was glad, honestly. I mean, good song, Pato, but what the hell, guys?
I'm just meeting this lizard that I thought was stuck to the wall for most of the meal.
Oh no, he just does that. That's Spalding. He's somewhat well spoken. What's your charisma?
20.
Yeah.
Okay, he's excellently. This if you talk to him, it's a good time.
So,
You guys have met, right? We're both from the orphanage.
oh yeah,
Yeah, you guys know each other.
we've met before, right?
Maybe I don't think they hung in the same crowds here at the
No, but
orphanage.
Kelp has been here before, haven't you, Kelp?
Yeah, Kelp is one of the orphans, right?
I think I might have miscommunicated how that worked during the introductions to everything. But
All right, if I have been here before, I have been here before then.
Yeah,
And
we're all.
I drank too much last night.
Hey,
Yeah.
Kelp, even if it was like for a 2-year stint, that was sort of if you look at the background stuff. I was wondering when you said that. I didn't realize what you guys had worked out on that. So.
Okay, no, I guess I am an alumni like everybody else.
Yeah. You would have run into him, but I guess you guys didn't hang out a bunch. Yeah.
yeah,
he's
you
cool.
transferred here when you were relatively young from the other orphanage, but you've been here for a little while training up.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Is
again,
there any-
he stands out.
So, yeah, I mean, you all stand out. So.
Yeah, not like the Steve who stands out, but
Well, Steve stands in the closet, but. Tom Cruise and John Travolta are trapped in the closet.
They're trapped in the closet together.
Now R. Kelly's trapped in the closet with Tom Cruise and John. Oh my god. Anyways, then the trapped in the closet. So the music goes in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, South Park for anybody who's too cultured. So. But anyways,
Where is this city or town that we're going to? Or are we going?
It's called. It's called. Push the wrong button. I believe it's called Aloria, though. Yeah. And it's just immediately south of Luskan. It's on the coast there, and it's an old fortress city, but you can just walk into it now. So. And a little bay there on the south of Luskan. And it's pretty lively, but I mean, I don't normally say this, you know this, but if you have to eliminate some opposition to Rescue Grace, that these people will stop at nothing. They will not capture you as prisoners. This is why I'm concerned for his safety.
So if
Are they trying to lure me
fires
there?
start lighting up the town, it's not a problem?
What's that?
I said, if random fires just randomly start happening in the town, they won't mind?
They're good people, normal people. It's an enclave. This town is not the cult. Cult is
It's
just
just people in the town.
Just some of the people there are just. I hear they have a camp there, so they've infiltrated. So don't trust anyone not to be a member. So you can always see if anybody reacts to the phrase "merge with Earth." If you really need to test somebody, but as soon as you do that, you'll reveal yourself as not physically, but you'll reveal yourself as knowing something, right?
So only do it when we have someone outnumbered in a inside room.
Yeah, or just when you absolutely want to watch their face and know, right? So, yeah. So,
Can I cast Detect Magic and see if there's anything going on with the letter? That might not be
absolutely.
immediately obvious.
Yeah. So, yeah, you go ahead. There's in Bob's office. It's fairly big. There's a big wooden desk. There's a couple trophies and a pair of swords in behind him. There's the swords are magical. The family crest of his is magical. The desk is magical. There's magic in the desk. There's magic on Bob as usual. So, yep.
Nothing
And
on the letter though.
nothing on the letter itself. No,
And the finger.
Nothing on the finger.
nothing on the finger itself. Unfortunately, there should be preservation magic on the finger, and there's not. It's a little stinky, but yeah. So yeah, he just says, I have to be able to trust that you're the only ones I can trust because of your history
We are very trustworthy.
and because of their beliefs about about family origins. They do not care for anybody who does not look like them.
Oh, they have a particular look.
Yeah, they're humans with brown hair, generally tall.
Giroux looks around the room uncomfortably.
Blue lizard. Blue lizard.
Green lizard. He says, I know where you're from, Drew. So
Yeah, Giroux lets out his breath.
I know exactly where you're from. Mm-hmm.
Giroux doesn't read anything extra into that at all.
It doesn't surprise you. So.
Mhm.
We'll have talked to you about it to some extent. So yeah, he he knows. Yeah, he knows what happened to your parents. He knows where you're from. So he's hinted at it before, but
Mhm.
it's too traumatic for him to have ever told you explicitly. So
Mhm.
you feel like if you ask him, you'd know, and you're not sure if you want to know.
All right,
He'd tell you.
I'm not gonna ask.
Yeah. Anyways. All right. So yeah.
And
So he
Bob
says-
hasn't spoken to anyone else about this. He hasn't asked
You read the
Fizz or
letter in
anything.
front of you unless he's performing, and walked into his office, and you guys followed.
Oh, fair.
He, in fact, takes it and puts it in the second drawer, and you recognize that drawer. When he opens it, he does something with his hand and opens it. Before he opens it, he goes like this across and like this, and something happens. Drew, can you do perception?
Yes, I can. Giroux's perception. 16.
All right. You feel like what he did was not physical. Like he didn't move any levers or anything like that.
Cool.
So, yeah. He closes it and he's like, find him and keep him safe and do whatever you can to find out why they did this or what their plan is. Anything. You know all those things we talked about never extracting information in ways that would not please a godlike tier. Good God. And not killing for no reason and stuff. Do not
Yeah,
kill-
yeah,
do not
we
kill
wouldn't.
for no reason, but it may be that extracting the information however you can would save a lot of lives.
We may
You'll
have
see.
reasons.
If there was a member of this cult here, I would banish them from this place. I would banish them to another plane forever and without even talking to them. And if there was a demon here, I'd negotiate.
Okay.
So that's what Bob tells you. So, yeah.
Okay, so we gotta wipe these guys out.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any way to use the finger, like to help? Like, I have a, I like have a definite, like I have um, divination ability, but it requires me to know an object familiar to me, and I can basically see where it would roughly be, like 1,000 feet. Does anyone have anything that could but I don't think that I could use that on a finger. But does anyone have any
you
means
might.
of,
A
like,
finger would be really good for divination.
The D&D rules are that the finger is now an object when it's detached from the body. But the second part of that is, if you require familiar items, then it's very familiar, right? If it's
Yeah, that's as familiar as you're gonna get.
So it just depends on that. Does anybody have locate person?
like I have locate object. Is like, but does anyone have something similar to that with their?
Is there any object that he has that we would know about? Probably not. I don't know. I look at Bob.
Well, you would have to know the object, but you would know his bow. So you would not have parted with it. If they have it somewhere, you'll find the bow. You would know it, and you guys immediately remember it because it was really cool. Just not that remarkable, other than the quality of it. So, but everybody could feel the quality when they went near it or touched it or saw it. So it's a short bow. So you all remember it. So that would be an object you could locate.
Well, I
can
mean,
probably
like,
locate object.
I mean,
If I recall the spell well enough.
yeah. So locate object is describe or name an object that is familiar to you. You
Yeah.
sense the direction of the object's location as long as the object is within 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just
so
by
you will be
meters,
able to find that object when you go within 1,000.
So that would be if we manage to get a letter and ask them to give it to him, we can track the letter, sort of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And they won't know that at all. So.
No, because there'll be nothing magical about the letter itself.
could we track the money
Yeah.
like that, or like, yeah?
That'd be trickier because you'll just track money and it'll be like it's everywhere.
That's
You
fair,
found
that's fair, that's fair.
it. Specific items work better for the spell.
I do
I guess
have
the divining
locate
rod.
object.
Yeah, and I do as well. Yeah.
So yeah, so that would work if you're within 1,000 feet for sure. So
I'm
for
guessing
the
that
bow,
we're not that close to the town then.
Well, you can cast it and find out, but he says that
We're
which is going to
like,
take you a few days.
weeks? Yeah.
So let me just see. You still have your horses?
Oh, right. We have horses here.
Just checking.
So why don't we take our horses, go to this town, and when we're, the last few hours to get into town, we'll eat our seeds of totally seeming normal, and then we have, 3 days to get her done.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's the distance tool now? Oh,
I
am
mean,
actually-
especially if we have two people that can use locate object for this bow, or for like kind of that allows even the ability to search the town faster.
Yeah, it's only 300 miles, so or so.
Yeah, Yeah,
It's
it's
mountains in a way.
do we have any teleports to closer locations to that?
No, well, unless somebody's developed something that I'm not aware of.
I don't have the map in front of me, so I don't know where anything actually is.
My apologies.
But we have back to the swamp where we just were. Is that closer?
No, not at all.
I could
I-
prepare locate creature too.
Oh, you have locate
So I
creature.
can-
Creature
prepare it.
though, not person.
No.
Creature is more general and is usually, a, strictly speaking, better spell.
Okay.
Let me check here. I don't know. Jabru intentionally is not a magical character that doesn't know magic.
Of course.
Uh,
quick
Uh,
context on the legend or on the
No,
map
just
here.
Locate-
oh,
locate
you need
creature
to-
is not an individual, so
You can, except you need to have seen them up close within 30 feet before.
no, it's not an individual if you read it.
The spell can locate a specific creature known to
Okay.
you,
Okay, all right.
so long as you have seen such
I
creature
see.
up close. Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, on Google it summarizes with you can locate a specific creature known to you of the nearest creature of a specific kind. So you
Or
can,
or the nearest creature of a specific kind.
yeah, so you can find the nearest human, but you can't find a specific human.
I think you can.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Because locate creature is the spell.
Cool.
That's the one.
All right. No problem. All right. Yeah, I'm just looking at it again. That's fine. So
I think I'm not sure. We're regardless. We've never met the guy, so it's not going to work.
well, you've met Grace.
And we can't locate him if there's running water between us and him,
Well, or you're not within 1,000 feet, which is a challenge. The next
or
one.
you're not within 1,000 feet. That's right. So first we got to get to town. So
Okay.
let's go.
Okay. So Bob, just he says, "Do you have enough bribe money with you?"
Do we have
We
enough
never
what?
have enough money.
Bribe money.
Bribe money. We actually do have some bribe money,
Okay.
but we could always use more.
Bob just gives you a pouch, so
Oh, sweet. I'll put it into the party money.
use it to find him. Just,
How much should I add here, Chris?
500 gold. So.
Side note for the party, we've got just over 6,000 gold to spend on stuff.
Nice.
Bribes mostly.
Now, out of context, how much were they asking for the for rates
2,500.
even 2,500? Okay, just important to know context. So
Well, I mean, you could.
he's
just-
giving us 1/5 of the cost
So
of his friend's life.
We could just buy it. In theory, if we trust them, we could just give them the money for it. But let's figure out what's going on first.
Bob seems to really not be recommending that. He seems like these people are untrustworthy.
Yes.
All right. So, is the map up for you guys now?
Yes.
Okay. Generally, along here somewhere is this enclave, north of Port Last, south of Luscon.
And where are we?
You are currently in Oblong.
Okay.
Oh, we can just go up the coast, past. Do we want to?
Sold?
Well, yeah, we'll go around on the path through the forest here, exactly.
Yep.
And then up through Helmshold and swing by Neverwinter, and then at Port Last. How far is Port Last from the place?
You're about from there. You just have to take the ruler tool. 10 feet is every 10 feet. Every 20 feet is 100 miles, so every 10 feet is 50.
So then we can just transform on our way from Port Last. Do you think they have spies in Port Last?
You don't know. So.
I don't know what sort of check that would be. Do we think they would?
Well, I mean, are you leaving Bob's presence?
I mean, we're gonna ask him. Bob knows
They
more
just
than
said
we
they
do.
had eyes everywhere, but I mean, are they deceiving us? We will be watching everywhere. He looks quotes exactly. It's hard to say.
Well, if we have to kill everyone, we have to kill everyone.
If you appear in Neverwinter, you're not threatening. You could be going somewhere else. I guess just make sure that if you think somebody might be watching you, that you look like you're going somewhere else before you.
Okay, so fake heading into the. We can talk about our plan on the way there.
Yeah, what our fake alibi will be.
Exactly.
Probably
So
don't
yeah,
think
you guys.
intelligent.
Yeah, Bob just gives you the money and asks if your horses are well and sends you on your way and says, I will be in the north when you return, but he gives you a scroll. And it is clearly a scroll of message, and he says, tell me when Varese is safe.
All right.
What's the character's name? Barista?
Varce. V is in Victor, ARCE.
The race.
Mm-hmm.
And then for a bit of a unit conversion, so the locate object spell can be used within 1,000 feet, and a mile is 5,200 feet, which means that we need to be within 2 miles of the person.
You basically have to be close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say 5,200 feet is a mile?
Well, 5,280 is 1 mile, unless
Okay, so
Yeah,
it would be
You
like
have to be within a fifth of a mile, not 2 miles.
I guess 1.9 maybe.
1.9.
No, you missed the decimal point there.
0.19.
Intelligence 6 is 6, folks. It's 6. You're
Yeah,
making me
we-
do the unit conversions.
You basically got to be close. It's if you're
Yeah.
in a castle, it'll let you know where in the castle it is, sort of thing.
Cool.
What are you doing? So yeah, you guys are able to get on your horses and go when you're ready. Is there anything you want to do to prepare?
No, I think we've done our preparing. I think on the route we'll talk about what our plan should be, why we're showing up in Neverwinter, and I guess pretending to go to the woods.
Yeah.
And then coming out of the woods as a totally different party.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So we'll kind of head, if you look at the map, we'll head toward the woods here, and then I guess we'll head through the hills here and try to avoid people, and then we'll walk, big air quotes, out of the woods as the other people here towards Port Last, and then from there head north.
Right.
Sounds
Does
like a
that sound reasonable?
If people ask us why we're in Neverwinter when we go, because I assume that we're going into Neverwinter to like check things out, or is that
We
just
have
trying to-
a contract for something in the woods.
There we go.
Somebody who's good at, I guess I'm good at forging. I can write us up a contract for an animal that stole an orphan, and that's our in.
That is
I
your
don't know who
jam.
would
All of our
steal an
jam.
orphan. Yeah,
Rescuing an orphan.
yeah.
So yeah, you guys head towards Neverwinter. That's no issue. There's a reasonable amount of traffic. It's morning if you decide to leave now.
Yeah. Let's head out on the road.
Okay. So you continue, along the road with, again, no issues coming out of Oblong. If you go to Yartar, which is fairly familiar to you, and very not much going on. A couple of people wave. They recognize some of the people that have been around more. So, and anybody who's heard of you guys recognizes the weird lizard composition going on here. So, and everybody's a little like, but
We're just
yeah,
a walking zoo.
yeah.
We're a little bit.
Oh wait,
Yeah, I mean-
are like Frankfurt and Spalding on horses? So they're like a turtle on a horse and a lizard on
Yeah.
a horse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless they choose not to.
No, I'm riding my personal horse.
Spalding.
Yeah, I think I probably would have had a horse before too. When,
Yeah, you have a horse. That's not an issue. Bob would just give you one if you didn't. So,
yeah,
but
I can horse it.
I think you had one when you guys were heading up near the dragon and stuff. So, well, you guys abandoned a bunch of them there. That's right. So. But they don't exist anymore, anyways. They're somewhere else. So. Yeah. So yeah, and Tribor is definitely a constant market in the square in where the roads cross, right? Just constant. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on there, a lot of trade and stuff.
Jeru asks around about our fake story in the woods a little bit, just in case there are ears on the ground.
All right. Yeah, I mean, what kind of people do you ask? Like, are you asking merchants or just people? on the
Yeah,
street?
Drew's a merchant guy. He would just, buy a thing or two, small things, nothing consequential that might help in the woods, and Drew knows the merchants, and maybe one of the chattier ones just, drops that a little bit.
Sure. So yeah, and they're definitely willing to help you, but haven't heard a thing.
Okay, no, that's
You
fine.
figure- You figure by the time you get to the third person you asked, that the rumors already went past you down the, down the
Okay. And that's
down to the market.
all Drew wants, just in case there's somebody watching our party go towards this place, because I imagine if they are watching things, we in particular are being watched.
All right. So yeah, Trevor is just busy. There's any kind of people on the road. It's broad daylight. It's good weather. It's fall, I believe. So yeah, yeah. And the pass there is a little bit of work, but it's a good road. So on the Tribor Trail there. So yeah. So you guys are able to head towards Neverwinter without any issue. You can smell the ocean after probably tomorrow morning. So well, tonight depends on whether. Yeah, let's see the distance. Sorry. Yeah, you can get there on horses. You'll be smelling the ocean before the end of the day. So yeah, they're a little slow on half speed up the mountain, but yeah, the biggest part of the pass. So yeah. Yeah, you guys are able to reach the coast here, and it's dinner time or whatever. You want to go north? Want to make the city for tonight? You can do it.
No, we're not in a rush. Let's head a little bit off the road and see if anybody seems to be following us.
Okay, investigation, Drew.
I'll help him. I'll scout from the sky as I use my
Yeah.
wings.
Awesome.
Okay, so you're gonna fly up in the sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
But
look for the ground.
stealthily.
13 from Drew.
All right.
Do
Okay. Roll.
you want me to roll as well, or I have
Yeah.
to roll?
Oh, here, I'll roll again. Here. Investigation.
Better.
17.
You don't perceive anybody following you. You feel pretty comfortable.
Right.
Stealth and perception from Pedo, please. Not that you can truly stealth, but how do you do? And
Yes. Okay. Stealth. Not great, but not too bad. And perception, you said?
yeah.
Perfect.
So you describe how you're looking. So you're in the bush. You've got your little camp space. You picked a concealed space. You fly up, and what do you do? So you see the ocean right here, and the cliffs dropping off, small cliffs, and
Yes.
the mountain behind you.
So I'm trying to sort of blend into the night, because I imagine it's dark out by now.
Well, you can
So
wait till dark, but nobody said that. Drew was looking at the daylight.
oh, okay. So I guess okay. So if we're in daylight, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to be as inconspicuous as possible. But then when I go up, I see the water and I'm distracted by its beauty, and I completely forget to look.
This view here is so cool.
You sure when you come back down that there were people on the road, but none of them seemed notable
Okay.
to you?
Cool. Yeah, I think with the nat one, I don't mention it.
No, you don't even know that your perception was that bad. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
you looked around, you didn't see anything important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so Drew, you can't determine anybody be following you or see anything in particular. Nobody behaves strange. Nobody jumps off the road behind you, which you were looking for.
All right.
Nobody goes past and then comes back by.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys are able to camp for the evening if you want.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll set up unless you guys want to keep going, I can set up a hut.
Yeah, I'll go see if there's any good food to top up what we've got.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, Drew finds some rabbits.
Yeah, whatever you want. Venison, rabbits.
Yeah.
You name
The
it.
rabbit was actually I caught a couple rabbits that were in a like strawberry field, so they're already marinated.
Oh snap!
Yeah, they're real good.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are able to. There's nothing eventful happens in the evening, so you just on to the next morning if you want. You can come out of the bush, or you can do whatever you want. So. What would you like to do?
Might as well head back on.
Uh,
the road.
Yeah, we keep heading north.
Let's head north.
Okay. As you get somewhere near the intersection at Helmshold, the only thing of note is somebody in full armor goes riding past you at full speed the other direction. They appear to have come maybe from Helmshold. They're fresh, very fresh, like minutes fresh.
Do we recognize anything about them?
No, they're human. They're just, it looks like a fairly typical fighter guy with full armor on, and he's just booting it like that horse isn't going to make it if he goes too far. And he just goes flying past you without like even looking at you. So.
All right. Looks like somebody had an important message to send.
So, anyways, you're able to reach Neverwinter without any issue. Neverwinter is a really cosmopolitan place. It's sort of like the sort of elite small city. It's politically it was mostly a city state most of its life. It was so yeah. It's everything is clean. It's got lamps for lighting the streets at night.
Hong Kong. Gotcha.
There's water clocks in the central that are famous in the central center of town that keep time, which is a bit of an abstract concept that most people don't care for, but sometimes people want to know, when dinner is coming and want it at the same time every day. Some people, wizards in particular, and tinkerers and gnomes are very interested in time at the specific times. So, yeah, and you can get just about any jewelry in the world here. The port tends to host yachts, not trading ships. So people come here for fine craftsmanship, the kind of stuff you can hold in one hand. So glass lamps, jewelry, anything you can imagine that way.
Basically, Monica.
I don't know. So yeah, and it has everywhere. Everybody has a beautiful garden. Even if somebody has a small postage stamp place downtown, then there's a box on the wall with a garden that's just beautiful. So yeah, it's obviously a point of pride. You get asked the basic questions when you enter, whether you're passing through or staying, and what the weapons are for, and you get asked for your names. But that's normal. Then so from normal, if you said Giroux, they would just be like, not even ask you like where from or last name. So.
Right.
So, up to you whether you use your real first name or not. So. Hint for me, it's just up something you would think of. So whether you wanted to.
No, we'd probably all give fake names. I'm Maru.
All right.
This is my friend Mankford. There's Malding, Mito, and Melp.
Belp. I guess.
Call me Wilson instead of Spalding.
And that's Wilson. We don't know what happened to him.
Well, I wasn't sure if you were going to say Guido or not. So.
Guido.
Anyways, so yeah, you guys head into town. You can do anything you want here. It's a place for if you want a water clock for your you know, I don't know what you would do with it. They have to stay still, so you guys never stay still. So, but if you want one, this is where you're gonna get one. If you want a glass bauble or jewelry for a woman, this is the place to get it.
Maybe a nice sundial watch.
You can get you could actually, you know, if it's something you look for, you'll find that there is a type of sundial that tells you whether it's level or not.
Yeah, cool.
It's got a little floating line versus another line like this, and so if you want to be precise, that's how you be precise in the middle of nowhere while traveling.
Can we take a quick bathroom break back at 8:30?
Sorry about that. Yeah, yeah. All right.
All right.
I think gonna be the closest.
I mean, the city is hopping, but it always is. And one of the things that really appeals to Drew and Pito about the city is that everybody around you is pretty rich.
Ooh.
It's either passing through or rich people.
Does anybody have anything, just while we're wandering, that I could liberate from their person?
Oh, sure. Roll perception first.
I get someone else to help me out.
Yeah, I think I'd definitely be helping you out because Peter would also be intrigued.
Yeah.
In liberating some.
Go ahead there.
We've pulled this one before.
Yep.
Pito, you want to roll the perception?
Sure. Although not the best perception.
That's fine.
Okay.
So you two have done this before.
Yeah, we don't see anything.
Oh, yeah, I
These
mean,
people-
you see people with money and purses. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
whether it's something special or not. I mean,
I'll pick one of the random rich-looking people and point him out to Pito.
man,
So
woman, young, old, walking.
I'll let Pito pick the target, and Pito will distract while I will sleight of hand away from them.
By themselves or with others?
Well, I don't know exactly how we want to pull the scam, but basically Pito does something to distract somebody as we're walking by, and like momentary distraction, and then while they're doing that, I liberate something from them.
Okay. Pito performance.
That's one thing Peter's good at.
One. And sleight of hand from Drew. So you definitely see literally a fat target. You know,
And 22.
yeah, you know, hanging from you know, his waist is like a jewelry chain, and beside that is a purse for sure. You're pretty sure you can get the purse without any trouble.
Yeah, the purse is all I want.
Pito, how do you distract him?
Well, I probably try to be as charismatic as possible, and I'd go up to him and just strike up some conversation, ask about the
Okay.
town.
He looks new. He looks like he's just off a boat, literally, and he's looking around. He's totally fascinated. And when you start talking to him, he's very happy. He's like, "Oh, you people are friendly here," and he starts talking to you and chatting with you. His comment is not good. He's got a very thick accent that you haven't heard before, and he keeps asking about clocks. So.
Yeah, and once I notice that Jabru has kind of done his thing, I will mention to the guy that we there's a shop nearby that sells sundials.
Right. So yeah, I mean, he's totally oblivious to what Drew is doing. So.
All right, we
Yeah.
head out.
All right.
Just while we're walking through.
All right.
The weird-looking three of us just stayed in the distance there.
Yeah. Drew, you find when you get away that there are 4 silver coins in a type you've never seen before. Like the figures on them are unfamiliar, the numbers are unfamiliar, and the language is unfamiliar to you. But they're definitely.
I take one of them and I run back to the guy and say, hey, you dropped your case. And I switch one of the coins for a gold coin and give it back to him.
Sorry, you switch.
Like I give him back his coin purse, which I say he dropped.
Yeah.
It's down 1 silver coin, but up one of his weird silver coins because I want to keep it because it's cool,
Yeah.
and up 1 gold coin. So he's
Okay.
actually way ahead.
Oh, he says thank you so much. And he tries to say something else, but clearly lacks the words. So.
I say no problem, and I disappear into the crowd.
Right.
Smoke bomb, like you know.
Right.
All right.
So yeah, he just is very grateful. Obviously, he was heading towards wherever you pointed about the sundial. So.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
disappear. Never want to see him again.
All right. So it's a busy square. Everything's kind of. Oh, where is it? Sorry. Oh, there it is. There it is. Sorry, I thought I had this in Roll20, but I do not. So there we go. And there's the 3 bridges across across, but there's only 2 really that are common for the public to use. So people don't head into the Haas Tower at all. So unless they're magical and asking magical questions and have business there. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So there's 3 bridges to cross, and as I said, there's all this sort of elite shipping traffic more than large cargo ships. Is often, craftsmen and rich people trading. So yeah. So you guys can do whatever you like here, or head north, or whatever you want. So
What time is it?
it's about, I don't know, 10 or 11 a.m. So there's a lot
Uh,
of inns. There's some of the richest inns you've ever seen. Like you can have a fancy breakfast. You can go north. You can.
well, we're actually not going to stay here long because we're just going to start heading towards kind of, if you look on the world map, northeast of here, kind of on the path towards the woods, and then off the path and swing around. And then when we're close to Port Last, we're going to have our normal berries.
Right.
Is it
Okay.
worth like checking with anyone to see if there's anything going on in the woods? Like just general rabble at an inn or something?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, and while we're
Like,
listening,
as much as I love running into a place that I've never been in the woods, like
well, we're and he said, Drew says under his breath, we're not actually going to the woods. And also, if we hear anything about the towns north of here, particularly the little hamlet that we've been talking about.
So if you do that, your intelligence will tell you to look for like the workers inn is going to be your best bet probably. So there's lots of those around. Obviously, there's all the people that serve this city and make it go, right? So even they seem almost sort of like people who maybe even own their homes, So one of the richer places in the whole region, the whole sort of northern continent, right? So yeah, so and the servants are well fed, well paid, and have good teeth. So good teeth means access to paid magic, right? So
Right,
yeah,
fancy place.
yep. So, but you find an inn. It's Boar's Breast Inn, and they're just you walk in and you definitely these are the people that are serving and helping the other people. It's not as much jewelry and riches and stuff, but their clothes are intact and they're in good shape. When you walk in, there's a large central fireplace, and on the far side of that, you see the bar and a number of tables. But yeah. So yeah.
Just while we're walking the crowd, we don't know what these cult people look like. We assume they probably have a presence in this huge city.
Well, yeah, that definitely you could, from what Bob said, that if it was an elf or a dwarf or something, you could write them off as not a member, right?
Right.
So there's definitely that component to it. So, but yeah, that's kind of what you know. You know about the phrase, but there was no visual identifiers given or anything like that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you see a number of people here. It's crowded enough for the morning. Obviously, there's people that are taking a break that were up very early. Farriers and stable boys and stuff like that. They're eating here at the inn, and there's a common stew and a separate stew. For you can order separate stew and soups and a sandwich and stuff like that. So it's a decent place. And there's lots of people to talk to. You notice definitely there's a hint of horse around here. Like this is maybe where stable hands and so on tend to go. So.
Oh yeah, did we put our horses somewhere when we came to town, or?
Yeah, I would assume. Well, I assume when you came in here that you just tied them outside where there was a place to do so and gave somebody a coin.
I'll just stay by the horses as you guys go in and do this.
All right, we ask if there's anywhere to leave our horses while we head into the forest for a few days, maybe a week, maybe more.
Oh, absolutely. There's a few offers right away, but the first boy gets to you, he's about 19, so we're just a man here, and he just says, "Oh, I can take care of them, sir. We're just right next door. We're the finest, the finest stables for the finest horses. Your horses will be comfortable, well cared for, massaged every day, and brushed. And they'll love it."
I pull out a silver, not a gold, and say, "What about if they're fine horses, but they're fine."
There may be just a brushing here and there.
I smile at him and we work out a deal for him to watch the horses for a few
Alright.
days.
All right. That will be even here. That'll be a couple of silver per horse. So,
Yeah, no problem. I take it from party funds.
yeah, you don't really even. It's not even significant. So. it's fine.
Yeah, I'll drop a few gold, whatever, for food and
Yeah.
lodging and things like that while we're here.
Yeah.
Like, with
So
6
anyway.
grand, we could get one of those yachts.
You can.
We can. Do we want to go boat? Does our place have a port?
It is
Well-
called Port Last.
I thought it's the place north of Port Last.
It is. It was at one point a busy port, and there's still fishing going on there and so on. If you ask around, do you ask around about that place though?
No, we
Alright.
explicitly do not. And if anyone starts to, actually, who's the smartest person?
Oh, you're all like up there.
We're all up there. Yeah, Drew kind of coaches everyone, so we explicitly do not ask about it. If we hear about it, we listen, but we don't ask about it.
I mean, definitely you. Let me. Where's my dice? I don't know. It's Spencer's house. That's where they are.
Yeah.
You do hear that of a trader that says he's going there, and he's going there to specifically to look for. There's a particular type of fish that they love to fish.
Yeah.
That's decorative, and people like stuff them and put them on their wall and stuff. And he's going there. He's going to try and bring them some works he bought from a man overseas that he has back in his room, and he's going to try and trade them for these fish and take them back to the man who came from overseas to the trader and see if he can make a deal and make a profit. So, but yeah, there's some specialized fish. They're orange and they're sort of round and flat like dinner plates. And people like to put them on. Rich people like to put them on their wall, and they come from this place. So he was talking to his friend. He's heading up there for that. So I was one of the few people in here that wasn't specifically a horse person.
Huh. Cool.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, he's going north. You recognize him. He's got sort of brownish red hair and a bit of a beard, and he's it looks like he's spent a lot of time of his life sitting down. So.
Yeah.
Is his accent similar to the guy who got pickpocketed?
No, he's not similar at all. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he just he clearly is what a wealthy trader would look like, to use that stereotype where he's he's well dressed and stuff like that, but he's also, his hands have been dirty, right? So somebody who dresses down for work and up for going out, right? So, yeah. And he was just talking to somebody he's met before there and just said that. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to try this. See how it goes. Maybe it can become a regular thing if I can find enough people who want the fish.
Yeah, I think some point we talk about this. So what do you guys think? Should we take a boat or go on foot? I feel like a boat might be too obvious.
I feel like a boat will be very obvious. I like the initial plan, but I also came up with it, says Drew.
Yeah, I think the boats that frequent here are quite lavish and would stand out in that tiny little fishing town.
Should we
Yeah.
come up with a story for when we show up there so that we all have the same story?
We could be hunting these orange fish.
Yeah. We could be there just buy fish, but like we need an excuse to be there for a few days.
Okay.
We're doing research on the fish in this port?
or we're trying to see their breeding grounds so that you can't just, or I don't know. Like, I can talk to fish, but I'll look like a regular person there. So once we're at the fish, assuming that story pans out, then I can do stuff. But right now, and when we show up, we'll be under the impression of the seeds of normalness.
I think if our story is going to be that we're there for fish, then we may as well go on a fishing boat.
Or maybe our story is that we were meeting someone there for a
Hmm.
private mission, and he's coming on a boat in a few days,
Yeah.
and we're early.
Kelp, that type of fish is just a type of fish. Like fish come, it's one of the shapes fish come in, dinner plate kind of thing. So
Yeah, so maybe we're
just to be
on.
clear, the colors sound unusual, but there's, you've ran into this type of fish before, right? So.
Let's pick an organization that's far away from here, and we are members of that organization, meeting someone here for research or some sort of artifact or something like that. And we're going to be there for a few days because we're a little early, but we want to pick it up, and it might be valuable.
All right.
I think that works, especially if we use our seeds of seeming normal.
Yeah, we'll just seem really normal. And while we're there, we'll hang around, we'll chat with people, we'll wander the village. We just need more of a story than the shadow that I just came up with.
All right. So, what kind of organization are you thinking of that you belong to?
Probably an academic one.
Okay.
Are we academics at all?
Are you academics, or are you traders, or are you,
Performance troupe.
I mean, as a druid, I'm definitely interested in the animals.
We'd be like animal protection, or but I guess we don't know whether or not
you guys are the animals, but anyways, that's it.
Let's. I think we should make up a new organization, and that way everything we say is canon.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Are the Society of Wandering Fellows. Society of Wandering Fellows. Anybody have better thoughts?
Something with an acronym that allows you to be able to say it and rolls off the tongue, like.
Orson's people howling. No.
Sofa.
No. Whatever you guys decide.
But the Society of Fishing Fish Admirers were the sofa?
Society of Fish Admirers, SOFA.
Yeah.
We're people with a common interest in rare fish, and we've gotten word that there's a ship coming in with a very rare fish, and it should be coming to this little port. We're going to try to check it out before anybody else has a chance. SOFA.
Right.
Do you like... What does it stand for again? Society of Fish Admirers?
Yes.
Fish Admirers. Unless someone has a better A word.
No, I think that's too late. I think...
I've already typed it down. It's our name now.
The only better name would be the Society of Fish Admirers Society. SOFAs.
You were right. We're already there. All right.
SOFA. Yeah, no, this is now who we are.
Well, it'll be who we'll be once we eat the seeds.
That's right. That's right. But right now, we are ourselves going into the forest to maybe rescue some orphans that we've heard about.
That's right.
Should we ask if there are actually orphans missing in the woods?
We
Yeah.
probably should, yeah.
Yeah, we can ask about it if there are other ones.
Right. So you're asking around for, sorry?
Orphans in the woods.
So you're just asking who?
Yeah.
You're in
The same things that we would usually do.
You're in the tavern. You're asking who?
Well, if there's anybody that looks like they've been in the woods recently, or they hear about all the horses stuff, we ask if anybody's come back from the woods talking about orphans.
Oh, I haven't heard anything about any orphans for a while. Up by Oblong there's an orphanage that's fairly famous. But I mean, people say that it's cult. This is one of the guys that's going to take care of your horses.
Oh yeah, Jeru says I don't think they sound like a cult at all.
I don't know. It's just what people say. People say all kinds of things.
Yeah, they're probably wrong.
They don't. I don't think I've ever actually known anybody whose children they've kidnapped. So
No, that's totally made up. Drew takes a drink.
Yeah. So should we go to the forest?
I think
Yeah.
we have our alibi. We have our like fake motive. We have our horses taken care of. I
Mhm.
think.
all right. So you guys are you definitely find out that nothing really things have been pretty peaceful since for quite a while all summer. So not too much is going on that disrupted the peace. Seemed like there was going to be war for a while, but there wasn't, and nobody really remembers why or what. So it's just like one of those vague impressions people had for a while. So
Yeah.
so things are pretty peaceful, and there's been no mass robberies or baby kidnapping cults unveiled lately. So.
Okay, that's good. That'd be wild.
Especially not lately.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go ahead.
we head out on the road east of town, and at that second bend right here, we head between the two hills and head north when nobody's looking.
Right, that's not a problem at all. Yeah.
And then we come like around this hill, and as we swing around, we've all taken our first pills of normalness. Right?
Yeah. So when you look around, you see, Bob had told you to think about where you're going with this, and you see, everybody looks like a pretty average human at this point, except for Spalding, who appears to be maybe a half elf. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did I do something wrong?
No, you're good. Let's head through Port Last, and I guess at Port Last we can start looking around. Just asking about. Well, no. Let's try to get to. I forget the name of the place. Let's try to get to our green dash here. That's where we'd like to end our day. I think. Do we have time for that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So you guys definitely will be able to get
So
there.
as we
Now,
approach,
you're walking, so let me just. It'll take you the rest of the day to get there.
That's fine. So we swing back to the high road, skipping Neverwinter, and head north.
Yep. In fact, you may want to enter into town in the morning, which is fine, but nothing eventful happens. You're on the road. Actually, you may want to. Actually, if you don't have your horses, you're going to want to take those pills further north. You want to stay. Yeah.
Okay, so we head through the wood
Yeah.
further north, and then when we get close to Port Last, we take the pills then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'll want to do that. So you have no problems getting there, and you head out into the woods at Port Last and execute your plan to be looking for something. And you take the pills of seeming, and that seems to be the same. Well, the results we talked about. So, and you're able to walk towards the town anytime you want.
All right, so we head towards the town, and we try to find a place to stay for the night.
Okay.
well, before we go into the town, do we want to do this search object just to make sure like that the rest of race will be there?
What object are you searching for?
Oh,
Oh.
sorry. Or did we determine that that couldn't be done with the using the finger?
Well,
So
you
you'll be
just
able to
search
find the
for-
finger.
Oh, okay,
Bill-
okay. Never mind. Never mind then. Okay, we can keep going.
Well, you would have been searching for his bow, I think was
Yeah,
the
you
thing,
could
right?
you could find his bow, but you need to be within
1,000
1,000
feet of it.
Within 2 miles of the city. So if we're just
No,
outside the city,
No.
Your math was wrong.
1/5 of 1 mile.
Yeah, your math was wrong. Remember?
Oh, was it? Okay, well then, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's not very far.
One.
It,
So
if we're gonna rest for the night here, should we maybe rest outside the city and not use our seed yet?
Well, we wanted to be seen approaching the city as not us.
Yeah, but I'm thinking if we just stay outside of town.
Oh, just stay out in the forest.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the next day come in.
Okay, yeah.
Then we don't
Let's-
have to use
let's-
seed right off the top.
You're right.
we
Let's
have-
spend the night. Let's spend the night in the forest east of this place.
Okay.
Trying to stay hidden and off the high road.
okay, that's a non-issue for you. It all works out well, and you're able to still execute your plan and take the seeds in the morning and
Perfect.
head towards town. So
Is there any magic spells that you guys want to cast the night before that we could do? I cast my my word of recall type spell from my from the nerve of the air, so that if we need to teleport to just outside of town, we can do that.
okay.
That's it.
So yeah.
Yeah.
The red toy. Somebody early this morning. Oh, sorry. Anyways, yeah. So what you cast? You're casting it.
Yeah, I'm doing the thing. It's setting the teleportation point.
Okay.
So I
Alright.
set a teleportation point east of the city at the edge of the forest.
Okay. All right.
That's it. I do it the night before.
All right. No problem. So yeah, you guys have no issues whatsoever. You sleep, you rest, you do the usual sort of way that you manage that, and you wake up in the morning refreshed, and I mean there was some animals and stuff, but nothing that seasoned adventurers like you would be concerned about, so panicking about. So yeah. So you wake up in the morning, you're able to head to the town, and when you approach the town on the roadside, which is up here, you see this wall and these spires, right?
Mhm.
The spires are obviously some kind of monastery or religious thing, and you feel like you can see by the water over here that the ports and docks must be around the other side, but you can only, of course, see the approach. And you approach the town to the city gates, and that would be next week.
Excellent.